everybody. Indeed, what is good? Welcome into Driving the Line. My name is Alan Bell. We got a fantastic show for you today. Big Brad, what's up, baby? How we doing?
Doing great, AB. Happy Monday. Good to be here. Transfer window ended. So we're excited that we can now get back to normal soccer. League's coming back. Excited to be here, talk sport on Super Bowl lead up week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, Michael said it best. YouTube must be sponsored by Nashville Electric Service. They're going through it, aren't they? They're getting roasted.
Deservedly so.
Yeah, it's crazy that 70,000 people in Nashville still are without power. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, they might not have it for another week.
Absolutely insane. Tina said, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Tina. So good to see you. Jared said, good morning, crew. Good morning, Jared. So good to see you. Matty boy, everybody, StreamYard coming through with the intro music. Hey, I'm telling you, man, yesterday was frustrating, but all we could do was work through it. Now, we had to do that twice because, look, we went 1-3 last night, so we had to work through that as well. Thunder money line, Spurs money line, we get that one. Knicks, they win by 2. Jokic hit 1-3, so we lose by the hook. And Alabama got absolutely boat raced by Florida. And Florida says, yeah, we're gonna hammer you. So Bama's getting hammered right now, not going through a good part of the season. For the boys here. Now, what did we see yesterday here? All right, Illinois. Hey, we talked about it. I don't know what it is, but there's something about these teams, Brad, in college basketball that when they lose, like when they're like 19-0, right? And then they lose one, they lose again. I don't know what it is, but Nebraska. Now, again, Illinois is a great basketball team, so we're not putting it on that, right? But, yeah, something to pay attention to. Iowa State absolutely boat race Kansas State, 95-61. Good win there. Purdue smoked Maryland. Purdue needed it, 93-63. And then Florida, yeah. And Hawk said, hey, what about that over in the Bama game? Yeah, right? Yeah, good call. Here we go. Celtics beat the Bucks 107-79. Pistons beat the Nets. Okay, look, Brad, here's what we have to talk about. I want you to notice these scores. Sunday NBA is now back. And what do I mean by that? Teams don't care at times. All right. Celtics look at these scores. Celtics 107-79. Pistons 130-77. Okay. Heat 134-91. All right. Then the matinee, the third game of that series. We had a close one there, Jazz, the Raptors. There we go. Oh, yeah, and apologies. The Knicks did cover. My bad. We went 2-2 yesterday. There we go. They won by 12. I said 2. My bad. There we go. Hey, Justin said Knicks covered the -4.5, AB. Give yourself credit. That's 2-2 day. No, I'm just kidding. It is a 2-2 day, but I was joking about if I immediately started, like, bragging that we went even. And the Knicks beat the Lakers 112-110. All right, so that's what we had yesterday. That would have been funny. Go from immediate 1-3 to talking trash. Crystal, good morning to AB and crew. Happy Monday, new week. Let's rock and roll. Let's rock and roll indeed. Japan said, AB, I want what you were on. Hey, just Monday feeling good, baby. That's what we're on. Speaking of that, Brad, let's get to some picks, man. We need to break these down. Well, it'd help if I hit the music first. Let's start from Monday. Let's go. Okay. Bradley, start us off, man. What do you got?
We're going back to our favorite league, the Netherlands second division, the Eerste Divisie. Today at 1 p.m. Central Time, Vitesse is taking on FC Eindhoven. We're looking for 3 total goals at -135. And both of these teams are trending, but specifically, they're trending typically with Vitesse at home and Eindhoven away from home. And with Eindhoven, it typically comes from one team, not as much both teams to score. You'll see a ton of that over 2.5 team total. Vitesse love to hit both teams to score. Vitesse love to score late. Eindhoven love to score early. It hits in this matchup history, and it's trending upwards of almost 80% in the league. We're going for that over 2.5 goals, and I got that at -135.
Beautiful, man. We got Vitesse, FC. Finkel is Eindhoven. Eindhoven is Finkel. John Boy said, AB, are we taking the Preds tonight? -1.5 plus 168. Well, I think I just saw that Barry Trotz got fired. So that, yeah, he didn't last long as the GM. I don't think that worked. Look at this. TJ, a member for 24 months. My goodness, bro. That's unbelievable, man. Thank you. And thank you to all the members, man. Thank you to everybody. All right. Now, let me try to thank you properly. Okay. After that 2 and 2. I'm glad the Knicks covered. I read it wrong. All right. Texas Tech. Oh, my goodness. We do not have a lot of games today, but what we have is decent. Okay. So I only have 2 picks because literally we don't have much to bet on. Hey, and all right, real quick. Sorry, I get applesauce sprayed. All right, Texas Tech -4.5. We're going to talk about these games. That's college basketball. Then in the NBA, we're going to go with the Hornets money line and the Rockets money line -105. Now, what I was going to say, Brad, we're going to get into all these games. Betting Chelsea. What was that, Saturday?
Yeah, that was fun. Shout out to a great call, I guess you could say. But you could just feel it after, they were starting to press. It was coming.
Dude, I was at this bar. All right, shout out to this bar in Nashville called the Lost Patty, okay? Mm-hmm. I was in there, and who was Chelsea playing? Was it Wrexham or
West Ham?
West Ham, Wrexham. West Ham, and everybody in there was a West Ham fan, so I wasn't saying anything. I was just keeping quiet, but I had bet on Chelsea, and I was just tweeting you. Oh, my goodness, man. I love it. Jared said, I don't know how to post it, but 24 months here, too. Jared, dude. Hey, all of you, man. That's unbelievable, man. Matty boy, I'm a day one guy, too, but can't find the sticker. How do you get to that? Actually, I don't know. You'll have to look in the chat. I never get here's the tough part. Brad, we don't get to see the same side that everyone else does, right? So, like, the interface that we have is completely different. So if I miss anybody's, like, comments in the chat, I promise we're not doing it on purpose. It's just a different, different program that we're seeing compared to what you're seeing. But that's the most boring thing of all time. All right, let's get the headlines. All right. The Las Vegas Raiders have a new head coach. Raiders expected to hire Seahawks. Ooh, your boy, Clint Kubiak. The Las Vegas Raiders are expected to hire Seattle Seahawks offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak as their next head coach after the Super Bowl, sources told ESPN's Adam Schefter on Sunday. A deal between Kubiak and the Raiders cannot be finalized until after the Super Bowl, in which the Seahawks will play the New England Patriots. After meeting Saturday with the Raiders and Arizona Cardinals, Kubiak intends to work out a deal with Las Vegas. Once a deal is reached, Kubiak, the son of former Broncos coach Gary Kubiak, would become the franchise's 5th full-term coach since 2021. Okay, number one, that is insane that the Raiders are about to hire their 5th coach since 2021. That's nuts. Now, I agree with Tizzle. Finally got something right. I think it's a great hire. I really do, especially at the time, especially with the other teams that have hired their coaches, pretty much almost all of them. Raiders made a good move, man. Honestly, I like Kubiak. Got a great shot at it. Yeah, big Clint. And Raiders going back Seahawks coaches. Oh, they are. I didn't even think about that. Pete Carroll before it. No doubt. Tizzle said Kubiak and Mendoza gonna go crazy, Iceman. Yeah, Mendoza, quarterback, obviously from Indiana, expected to be the number 1 overall pick, which Clint Kubiak and the Raiders have. Now, headline number 2, Brad. Interesting one here. I want your opinion on this, okay? And hold on one second. Junkie, member for 24 months. Oh, shoot, I'm up there too. I'm telling you, I love every one of y'all to death. I'd hug you. I'd hug your families. I love it. All right. Okay, number 2. The Manning cast has failed. Let me pull this full screen. The Manning cast has failed to reach 1 million viewers at any point this season. Okay. Hat tip to Awful Announcing and the Sporting News sent this out on Instagram. In its 2nd season, every episode of the Manning cast exceeded 1.1 million viewers. But this past season, only 2 episodes even hit 900,000. So a couple things to take away from this. Number 1, Brad, do you ever watch the Manning cast?
So when I'm watching Monday Night Football, I choose the Manning cast over the other. But I will say, a lot of times you get like, I guess one of my issues is you don't get a lot of full screen football, right? And I am I am there to listen, but I'm also there to watch the game. And they'll miss stuff all the time that it is kind of annoying, but I do prefer to listen to them than I do to listen to the two announcers.
Joe Buck and Troy Aikman.
I won't name anybody specifically, but I would just like to listen to those two more.
Yeah. You were praising the Mannings. You weren't putting anybody like
Correct.
Roger.
Not putting anybody down, just praising the enjoyment for the Mannings.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Kirk said, member for 13 months. Kirk, my boy, said, what's up, AB? What's up, big bro? Man, all right. So Michael says, I love the Manning cast. And you know what's, and look, I love the Manning cast from Michael, Tony. I can't watch the Manning cast. They hardly watch the game. And what you just said, Brad, is exactly it. Because look, I watched the Manning cast too, but I agree with that. And what you laid out in the fact that it could be a tough watch. And here's the other part too. Okay. And let's not kid this. And this is what happens to every show that has guests. Okay. Season 2, they're crushing it, right? Bringing on fun guests, Belichick, different stuff, right? Well, you notice now they've always ran guests that were of all kinds of different backgrounds, which made it fun, right? You would get actors, you would get, whatever. Here's the problem. Number one, people do want to watch the game. And when you have guests and they just start talking about, and which, let me say, this is a show right here where we talk about all kinds of stuff. So I'm with them in that. However, we're not going up with an NFL game. And people do want to watch it, right? So I agree in that sense. There's in the bigger part for me is, again, it's nothing negative on the Manning cast because I super enjoy it. But I think I agree that the guests, it's become very industrialized. And what I mean by that is this. The guests went from season 1, and I can tell you this from being a managing editor at CBS Sports, okay? Season 1, they have fun guests, creative, and they're talking ball. Season 2, ESPN sees, man, this is a hit. Omaha Productions, all of it, right? Well, what starts happening? Okay. Then you start making industry moves. What do I mean by industry moves? Okay. Well, now instead of booking guests, right? Of, hey, the Patriots are playing the Broncos or the Patriots are playing the Colts. Let's get Bill Belichick on here because he was obviously a coach and we got Peyton on one side, Belichick. You see what I'm saying? Like the booking used to be creative like that. Now it's just Saturday Night Live. Who has a movie coming out and you're going to plug it? And it becomes every podcast and every single other thing of the same people. You might as well have Blue Chew behind it. You know what I mean? And every podcast ad read, shaving products, you know what I mean? That's what it became. And that's what people flipping hate. All right. It's just a promotional tool now. And I'll say this. I wouldn't be surprised to see either they turn this into something else or adjust because, Peyton and Eli, I mean, obviously they don't need the money, you know what I mean? But they do want to keep their credibility. And again, it's tough. It's tough to keep something successful going. And then you need to start monetizing it. Right. And well, welcome to the entertainment industry because that has been the problem ever since it started. Somebody, you know what I mean? That's the problem. So we're going to find out, man. But I was fascinated to see that even the Mannings are losing ratings. So if you're out here with a YouTube page or anything like that, and you see a dip in a month, guess what? Peyton Manning had one too, with ESPN pushing him, with Disney pushing him, with ABC pushing him. And that still didn't work. So,
I mean, who knew that people wanted to talk football and watch football when football was happening?
Yeah, I know, man. I know. All right, let's get into it here. So, and that's the to end that conversation. The wild part is that I like not wild part, but I really like the Manning cast, but man, the industry people, when they're clearly like you watch Joe Rogan podcast now, it's not even the same thing anymore. You know what I mean? And not that I was the biggest Joe Rogan fan. I don't think it's the guy, right? But like money starts coming in and it just comes into something else, man. So yeah, we're gonna see it. All right, Syracuse, like this is what you have tonight in college basketball. Now you've got unranked games for sure, but ranked games, you have two. Syracuse at North Carolina. North Carolina, 11.5-point favorites, a total of 156.5. Now, I'm going to be honest. North Carolina is playing great. But the same thing that we've been saying for the past, week, 2 weeks. Be careful with these 11.5 spreads. Again, look, I didn't bet this game. I don't have a great answer for you on quote, being careful, right? But Aubie brought it up in the chat last week and spot on. Every digit that you can get these spreads, these double-digit spreads down. Yeah, and Lambeau brings a good point too. North Carolina has Duke coming up this weekend. So, it's Monday, but it's on your mind, You know the schedule, but you got a big one tonight. Now we're on this one. Kansas, Texas Tech. All right. Man. So we faded Texas Tech the other day, and it didn't work. They're playing great ball. Here's the problem. Kansas is playing phenomenal basketball. How many games in a row have they won? Good amount. Yeah, Tony's talking about the goalie fight in the NHL. If you haven't seen it, Google that. Just Google goalie fight NHL. It's awesome. I love when the goalies start fighting. They throw the stick down through the glove. Nothing beats relief pitchers in Major League Baseball. When a fight breaks out, they're there 17 minutes later, lightly jogging in a jacket. All right, yeah. So look, man, Kansas is on fire. We're going Texas Tech, though. Look, I think Kansas is due for a bad one. And I think Texas Tech is due for another good one. 4.5, attainable number. We're at home. Again, here's the tough part. And I'm sure, happens in every sport. But we're fading Kansas because they're playing so well. Well, not only that, but you see what I'm saying? Like, that's not a good way to invest, But this is going to be a tough game. Kansas is going to be up. So is Texas Tech. Jared, I like the under here. A bit too many points, I think. Pace is on the bottom end. Yeah, total 154.5. So that's what? 85. I can't do the math. What is that? 65? Yeah. 75 something. I can't do the math. It's too early, but you get what I'm saying.
80-75.
Yeah, there we go. 80-75. Thank you, my friend. I don't know why I got caught up bad on that. Need to go with zeros, not fives, even though I should be able to add fives. All right, so yeah, we're on Texas Tech, man. minus 4.5. Alonzo, morning, AB. Morning, big dog. Good to see you, man. Anderson and Topper for Tech are a tough duo to defend. Yeah, Texas is legit, man. For Texas Tech is legit, no doubt. I agree with the under. Yep, no doubt, man. Like, and that's a good look, too. Going to be defensive. I mean, yeah, both teams have offense, but we're going to hit short. Like, we just hit a couple stretches, right, where points just dry up on both sides. Man, we'll be sitting pretty. All right, let's get our picks one more time. We'll jump into soccer and then the NBA. Again, a very light day in sports. Brad, what do you got, man?
We're going to the second division of the Netherlands. Speaking of light day in sports, that is what a Monday is, AB. Always and forever, it will be a light day in a similar fashion to a Friday. Things are just around that schedule. But the second division of Netherlands typically has a nice day. Vitesse is taking on FC Eindhoven, and it's a total goal hitting league upwards of 80% over the last 60 plus matches in the league. And we like this matchup over 3 goals to 2.5 at -135.
Beautiful, man. All right. Texas Tech -4.5, -115. And then the NBA, we're going to talk about this in a second. Hornets money line and the Rockets money line. Put those two together, -105. Alonzo, we called it yesterday under Illinois. Yes, sir. You nailed it, man. Good job, buddy. All right, Brad, let's talk some soccer, man. What do we got on the board behind us?
Light day, but we do have the ladies back. The women of Germany, the top flight of Germany, women's Bundesliga, which is absolutely smashing that total and has been for a consistently long period of time, upwards of 6 weeks in the league. The BTTS, which is both teams to score, is just under 50%. Not really that great. And it, considering the over 2.5 trending at that 72% mark, there's quite a significant difference. Don't want to look at that both teams to score. You want to look at that over 2.5 goals because it's trending in upwards of 80% of those 2.5 goals, with one team getting all three and then smashing that over 3.5 in 71% of those 2.5 matches. So women's Bundesliga today, it's a 3.5. Köln, the team on the away end, not as good at a hit totals, but that home team upwards of 95% in their trending matches. So when that 3 is there, drop into the women's Bundesliga, smash those goals.
Nice, man. I love it. The women's Bundesliga.
Das Bundesliga, women's edition, smashing goals.
There we go. Well, you know, Charlotte is one of the 2 hottest teams in the NBA. Man, they have been smoking it in January, no doubt. Tizza, we are entering one of the best sports stretches in years. World Cup, Olympics, and World Baseball Classic all in the same year is awesome. Dude, how awesome is that? No doubt. You ready for the World Cup?
You don't even know.
Who we betting on? Like, who's just off rip? Who's favored to win?
There's a couple teams that will be up there in the top. You got an England, you'll get a France, you'll get a Spain, you'll have the Netherlands hovering right on the outside, Germany hovering right on the outside. I'd say those are really your big favorites to win basically everything. You'll get one of those who will advance because it's a knockout stage, right? You can get to 0-0, get to overtime. So the World Cup's going to be fun. Teams from all over the world that are probably going to get absolutely smashed in the first round, and we'll look to take advantage of that.
Nice. When does that start?
It'll start this summer. So in I think it's either June or July. I should know offhand, but also AB, we're like 3 weeks away from the beginning of the MLS season. So we got that coming too. Very, very exciting.
There we go. I love it, man. Alonzo, Syracuse, North Carolina, first half over 74.5. There we go, big dog. Johnny Boy said Olympic section is up in the Discord. Beautiful work, y'all. Nice job. Tuskegee men's basketball coach Benji Taylor led off court in handcuffs following post-game incident. I don't know what happened there. So if anybody's got any news on what just happened to Benji Taylor, let me know. But getting led off the court in handcuffs, not exactly the most ideal way to start your week.
Better than this past time with Ecuador's forward, Enter Valencia, who faked an injury toward the end of the game to get into a golf cart that drove him away as the police were changing him to try to collect unpaid child support, ended up getting out of the stadium, evading the police, and later having that warrant removed. But he did pay a fine. Pretty funny incident. Shout out Enter Valencia of Ecuador.
Of Ecuador. There we go. All right, we're not going to the Ecuador. We're not going to the Ecuador. Dude, they need to go by the Ecuador. You know what's strong? Like, that's a show of force. The Ecuador. You're like, oh, dude, you don't want to go there, bro. They'll get whooped. Speaking of whooped, Pellies. On the road, Charlotte Hornets. Now, Hornets have been smoking it for 30 days straight. Pelly's not playing terrible, but they're the Pelicans. Now, the Hornets are 6.5-point favorites. We are going the parlay route. We have the Hornets on the money line paired with, there we go. The Rockets money line. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. We're with the Rockets and the Hornets. Now, again, we're taking the spreads out of it. So you can look at this two ways. You could play the Hornets singular, minus 6.5 by itself, or the over under, and you can play the Rockets by itself, minus 5.5. Or if you don't want to play the spreads, which risk do you want to take, right? You want no spreads, but you need 2 to win, or spreads, and there you go. Lowe's, the Ecuador, that hotel 3 blocks off the Vegas Strip for $20 a night. Oh, he nailed it. Lowe's nailed it. That's exactly it. Well, I like the over too. There we go. Hornets, Pelicans, 59.5 over first quarter. Beautiful work, my friend. Appreciate you on that one. Big time. All right. So, yeah. So, there we go. So, there's ways to play this. All right. Now, we got the Rockets. Check the injury reports. And, again, we'll be live today at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central to dive more in the NBA, player props, whatnot. But keep an eye on that. But, again, Rockets at the Pacers. Let me pull this full screen. Sorry, I know that deficit. And, look, Pelicans, Hornets. That's at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central. And then Rockets, Pacers, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. Again, we're taking the spread out of it, but we need 2 to win. Rockets money line, Hornets money line. And this is what you got. 2 other games. Timberwolves and the Grizz. Brad. Now, we've been talking about it for like 2 weeks. Absolutely cannot trust the Memphis Grizzlies at all. But it's the NBA. They're going to win one randomly. And I look, I don't know if I trust Minnesota. I don't know what to do with them on the road here. Are we buying into the Grizzlies plus 7.5 or no?
No, not when you're reliant on Ty Jerome. Even the Cavs got rid of Ty Jerome. Sorry, no disrespect, Ty, but
he's listening. All right, so yeah, I mean, look, man, like the Grizz. They're tough to put your money down. Look, this is funny. Ice, Ty Jerome over 50.5 points and assists. Damn, Brad.
Sorry, Matty Ice, no hard. But hey, no, he is a gunner, bro. He drives on just about every single play. He's almost a ball hog in nature. I like that pick for sure.
That's fun. I love the way Matty just said, damn. All right, so look, that's the NBA. That's what you got. But luckily, we got this thing called the Super Bowl coming up this week. Super Bowl week has officially begun now. Okay. So tonight is opening ceremonies. Okay. So if you'll be paying, I think it's tonight. Yeah. If you'll be paying attention tonight. All right. I've done this before a couple times. It's the most fun night of the Super Bowl right now. I didn't go to the games, just covered it media-wise, like through the week, flew there Sunday, took off on Friday, right? But the media deal during the week is a ton of fun, and tonight is the most fun. So what you're going to have are all the players, these little booths, okay? And then you've got the media all around. But with the media, you have all kinds of people using the Super Bowl to get attention. What do I mean by that? You remember Keenan and Kel? Remember that show? Well, Keenan is the one on Saturday Night Live. I didn't mean to scream in the mic. Keenan's the one on Saturday Night Live, right? Life didn't go the same for the other guy. Okay? Because I saw this man at Super Bowl opening ceremonies in his full Good Burger uniform, and he was in hell. Absolute hell. I'm not saying anything negative to my man. I didn't talk to him, but I saw that, and he's like, oh, this ain't good. Because it's like being a mascot. You're in costume and people are just, it's just random. So anyways, there's no point on that. But be watching for that tonight. Tonight is the night where you have like all of the crazy stuff, Anybody that wants to use the publicity of the Super Bowl to get themselves publicity, tonight's the night to do it. You'll see all kinds of crazy. You'll see reporters from other country, that are asking, random questions. Like tonight's the night, so you're going to see all kinds of crazy stuff here. But with that, now let's introduce our picks of what we have so far. Okay, Drake May 1+ interception minus 120. Jackson Smith-Njigba anytime TD minus 110. Seahawks Patriots over 2.5 and I got all these at DraftKings, all right? Seahawks Patriots over 2.5 turnovers minus 115. Seahawks, Patriots, both teams scored 20-plus points, plus 125. Adam Schefter just reported a 4.3 earthquake in San Francisco. My goodness. Our Northern California friends, y'all all right? Addison said, anybody who wants to mate? Tizzle just locked in the 33 plus minus 125. I love field goals in this one. What Tizzle is saying is the both kickers to make a 33 plus yard field goal, also known as the Tizzle special, minus 125. There we go. Tizzle 4.3 is nothing. You will barely feel it. Oh, okay. So let me ask this. The only thing that I know about, and we're going to talk about the Super Bowl, don't worry. The only thing I know about earthquakes is what I learned in the Saved by the Bell episode where Mrs. Belding had her baby in the elevator. Right? Zach Morris is trash. Yeah, and you stand under a doorway, right? Like, Brad, you remember with like Tennessee public school, like when we were growing up, not a lot of earthquakes out here, but we had like tornado drills all the time. Tornado drills, you get under something, and you cover. But earthquakes, I believe you have to stand under the doorway. That's the move, right? I don't know either. If anybody is an expert on earthquakes, let us know. Drop it. Look, Brad, we want to practice the safety that others do too. We want to be prepared. There is a large fault line in Memphis, by the way. So that could be bad, but I guess we'll see. Let's roll the dice. All right. So now, Brad, we're going to go through the whole game this week, but we're not going to do it all at the same time because that would take 11 hours. So let's introduce and start with some exotic novelty props. You ready for this? We're going to play a little game called Yes, I Would or No, I Wouldn't. That's a very creative name. Yeah. Liddy said earthquakes are scary. Yeah, I agree. They scare me, man, and I've never even been close to one. But the earth moving and opening up is frightening to me. Yeah. Were you going to say something, Brad?
There's a lot that is frightening with the weather. But yeah, earthquake is definitely one. A hole opening up and you just falling through. I mean, that's terrifying. It's like quick. You just get caught in earth and you're sucked in.
You are. Hey, let's not forget Real Foot Lake, AB. Hey, Austin's absolutely correct. The Mississippi flowed backwards. Check it out. And shout out to Land of the Lost. So there we go. All right. Nice. Was that the dog?
Yeah.
Nice. That was a good day. Picked a perfect spot. I loved it. And I'm not kidding. I love anytime dogs make an appearance on the program. All right. Here you go. Number one, Brad. The jersey number of the first touchdown score. Over 10.5 or under 10.5. So this is literally the jersey number of the score. So let's break this down. Over 10.5 is minus 160. So you get 11 to 99. 0 to 10 is plus 120. So let's think about it. Kenneth Walker, number 9. Where do quarterbacks come into play this? Right? Tough call right here, man. What are you going to do? Do you want 0 through 10 or 11 through 99?
I got to go 11 through 99, just sample size.
Okay, there you go. It's going to cost you minus 160. Okay, now, total players, and let me pull this full screen, total players to have a pass attempt in the game. Over 2.5. So here's the question on this. And Alonzo said, avoid Mexico City earthquakes. They are bad. Dude, I bet. In Mexico City, awesome city, huge elevation, all kind. Like, it's beautiful, man. But I could imagine if an earthquake hit there, oh, man. That's a lot of movement, dude. There's a lot of elevation. All right, so total players have a pass attempt. Over 2.5 is plus 175. Under 2.5 is minus 230. Okay. Now here's what you're getting in on with these. Logs asks, AB, what column are these in on DraftKings? Look at go to DraftKings, NFL, novelty props. You'll see it at the top. Okay. Now, Brad, total players to have a pass attempt, 2.5. So what is this bet? You're going to have 2 quarterbacks Off rip. Unless one of them gets hurt on the first play of the game on a handoff. Haven't seen that one. Well, Aaron Rodgers kind of, but still. Wasn't making a joke, just really random. All right, so you're going to have two quarterbacks, okay? Now, here's the question on this bet. Obviously, are you going to have a skill position player throw a pass? Wide receiver, running back, etc. Here's the other thing. If a quarterback gets hurt or loses a helmet, now loses a helmet one play, they're probably going to hand off. But if a quarterback gets hurt, maybe, out for 2 series, 3 series, whatever, right? In the blue tent, waiting to come back. There's your third quarterback if he throws a pass. So, under 2.5 is unbettable. But Addison, last year, Kenny Pickett came in to ice the game and he threw a pass. Remember that? We bet it on this show. Over 2.5. I'm glad you just said that, Addison, because absolutely. We absolutely bet that and got it on literally like the last play of the game with Kenny Pickett. Okay? Now, here's a random one. Total interceptions thrown on a play starting in the red zone. So do we have an interception on your own 20 or in? A lot of running the football in that area, but these teams aren't scared. Okay? So, essentially, you're not going to bet under minus 500. Who would do that? But you want to take a shot at one? Now, again, I love interceptions, and I haven't jumped on this one yet. Maybe. I don't know. But 330 if you hit it. You need a lot to happen, though. All right. Will there be an octopus? What's an octopus? An octopus, yes, plus 1,400. An octopus is, Brad, let's say you're a running back for the Seattle Seahawks, okay? Well, an octopus is when you score the touchdown, go for 2, and you score the 2-point conversion. Very specific scenario that happens, right? Plus 1,400 if you want to bet it. Hawk, I'd like not to talk about that bet. Seen that before? Yeah, no kidding, right? Oh my goodness, yeah. Interception in the red zone, Seahawks and Patriots. Yeah, all right. 2-point conversion. Let me pull this. So, do you think there'll be a successful 2-point conversion? Remember, they have to get it. Plus 300 if you think yes. Score in the last play of the game. Plus 800. So, Brad, you feel like we get a walk-off in this game. Again, it's a tough ask. You know what I mean? You're saying no.
No, the odds aren't good enough for me. That is just so specific.
Uh-huh. It's very specific.
It could land with 1 second left. They could kick the field goal with 25 seconds left. You don't always get 1 second. Somebody could have a timeout.
Uh-huh. You're right. All of those scenarios, you're exactly right. All right, so quarterback to catch a pass in this game can be any quarterback. Just need one to catch one pass. Plus 1,000. Any non-quarterback to throw a touchdown pass. Plus 1,400. Do either of those first two grab your interest or no?
I think that quarterback catching a pass is interesting. I think because both of those quarterbacks are pretty mobile and pretty athletic. And Vrabes. Vrabes he's notorious for doing something.
Vrabel's going to pull out the throw it to the defensive end move in the red zone, right?
That's exactly why that 2.5 to me is interesting, because Vrabel is the type of coach to do that.
Oh, yeah. Look, Zach said it. Vrabel used to have Henry throw touchdown passes. Wouldn't be surprised if he has one of the backs do it again, 100%. And remember, Mike Vrabel scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl with the Patriots on a move like that, right? Yeah, dude. Hawk says Drake May would be most likely to catch one. I agree with that. I don't see Sam Darnold going out. That would be a wild play. I'm not saying Sam can't do it, but I've got a feeling that they're not going to be doing that. I'd rather just throw it to Najigba and be done. Score on the first offensive play. So this is not a kickoff. It's got to be the first offensive play. Now, plus 2,000 if you get it. If you get a 99-yard opening kickoff return, that'd be nice. tough one.
Then you get stuffed at the 1.
Oh my God. They'd run it and get stuffed. Yeah. Matty, I said Sam Darnold catching a 60-yard fly route. Yeah, Addison said travesty. These props can't be parlay. Come on, DK. Come on, boys. I know, man. All right. So, will there be a kickoff return for a touchdown? Yes, plus 2,200. Now, this is any of the game. Again,
just a kickoff return.
Correct, for a touchdown.
Oh no, because maybe if you could combine the punt with the kick, just a return. You might as well go with the defensive special teams touchdown.
Now, here you go. Either, and good input, either Drake May or Sam Darnold to have a perfect passer rating of 158.3 plus 5,000. Does anybody go perfect?
Not these two.
Hey, throw it on the first play of the game, injured on the second play of the game. Not that they're wishing that on anybody. But, yeah, these are kind of crazy. Now, we're going to have more that come out, and we'll hit a big section of the Super Bowl every day. Like I said, I don't want to do the whole game because it would take 6 hours. You know what I mean? We got time for that. All right, let's hit the picks one more time. Let me do the NFL ones first. Drake May, 1+ interception, minus 120. Jackson Smith-Njigba of the Seahawks, anytime touchdown, minus 110. Seahawks Patriots over 2.5 turnovers, minus 115, as well as the Seahawks Patriots, both teams to score 20+ points, plus 125. I found all 4 of these at DraftKings, FYI. Jeff, do interceptions count as completions? No, sir, they do not. Okay, now let's get to our picks for today. Big dog, what do you got, man?
The second division of the Netherlands at 1 p.m. today. This afternoon, Vitesse is taking on FC Eindhoven. We're looking for 3 total goals. I got that at minus 135.
Beautiful work. All right, Texas Tech, college basketball, minus 4.5, minus 115 against Kansas. Then we're going to take the Hornets money line and the Rockets money line in the NBA. Parlay those two together, minus 105. All right. Matty Ice has a great comment here. Start thinking of your Gatorade colors, gang. Yeah, we're going to have all that stuff for the Super Bowl, no doubt. All right. Brad, any final thoughts before we get out of here, my man?
Nothing for me other than I'm looking forward to discussing what flavor, or not flavor, I guess flavor, but what colored Gatorade. That's one of my favorite props for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I can't wait to get those odds out. And we've got data on that, by the way. We'll be coming with that. Nothing like some Gatorade data. What color are you going with so far? All right, red, blue, orange, purple, clear. You going clear?
Orange is a good one because I think orange doesn't get consumed as much, so it might be a little more full than some of the others. Just they'll look to throw the full one.
There we go. Tina said blue. That was my guess, too. I love it. Tina, we're on the right side here. Liddy going purple, plus 150. Nice. Whale going yellow. All right. Logs, how about MVP? If it's not the QB, who's the long shot? Okay, so, yeah, real quick. Okay, so that strategy, okay, of betting the MVP. Now, Logs lays it out perfectly. Start with the quarterbacks. Usually goes there. Who do you think is going to win the game? Usually goes there. That said, though, MVP of the Super Bowl is an interesting bet because Logan brings up on the second question, or the second part, who's the long shot? So how it like, honestly, the Super Bowl can be weird because if we don't have a lot of scoring, dude, that's when it gets random. Like if somebody has a pick six defensively, you know what I mean? That's when we get that's when we get the random MVP because it was like, 21-17, and that was, the fourth quarter touchdown, right? Like,
who does the kick returns for both teams?
The who?
Do you know who does the kick returns for both teams? Both punt and kickoff?
Oh, kick returns? Not offhand. No.
Okay. Because I think if they double as an important player,
yeah.
Like what was it, Jacoby Jones for the Ravens, excuse me?
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's the tough part is that the MVP is a weird bet in the Super Bowl because it's very formulaic. Again, start with the quarterbacks, right? Like start with the quarterbacks. But That's the other part too, is it could be so random, dude. It could be somebody that you've just literally never thought of. You know what I mean? Some random linebacker who caught a tipped interception and ran it in. You know what I mean? Like, it can be difficult with that. But again, and I don't have the odds in front of me, but yeah, Jones is one of the best in the league. Kenneth Walker, Super Bowl MVP, beautiful. Z Money, what if Josh Dobbs comes off the bench for a superhero comeback championship? Uh-oh. Dobbs.
Kenneth Walker might actually get it. He'd probably get like 40 yards, but he'll get 3 touchdowns from the one, and he'll take the total. Something like that. I just don't see if it's not if it's the Seahawks winning, right, and they're not throwing it a bunch. You obviously lean Smith and Jigma, because if he's going to get a lot of that, he's going to be that guy. Other than that, you might as well have to lean Kenneth Walker or Drake May. If it goes Patriots, I think he's got to be that.
Yeah. We're going to find NFL honor shows this week. I think it's Saturday. So we're going to find out who the NFL MVP is and all the other awards. I think it's Saturday. Logs, Shaheed plus 3,000. God, I can't talk. Could return for a TD and put up some yards. There we go.
That's a sneaky one.
Yeah, that's a good look, man. Honestly. Jinxie, I thought orange and lime is like what players like. Dude, that cucumber lime, that's what it needs to be. All right, we'll get out of here, man. Brad, great job. Crew, great job. All right, we'll be live today, 3 p.m. Eastern, normal time. Until then, everybody, best of luck. Let's cash these tickets. We will see you soon. Thanks.
Who's got it better than us?